Hi my beautiful babes, welcome back to the Fancy Dollar. For those who are new, welcome. My name is Katie and today will be an interesting video because this video has been asked and it's been long overdue for me to film this video, which is explaining my cash envelope binder categories, my envelope categories, along with some budgeting questions that have been lingering in the air for the past 2 years when I started this channel. So we're just gonna dive into some of the questions that I've been asked on Instagram. So we're gonna get started with those and then jumping into the questions that were asked on YouTube. So if you're not interested in these questions and my answers, you can skip forward to the timestamp right over here so that you can, start jumping into me explaining my cash envelope categories. So I actually decided to refilm this video because there are a few questions that I were asked for me to answer on Instagram, and I thought they were really good questions, particularly for mothers that want their children to start saving and those who want to, I guess, dig into my thinking and my mindset of how I started cash stuffing and why I started cash stuffing, and I guess get the generally idea of how they would want their kids to see why this cash stuffing method is really important for our savings for our future. So I do have a couple questions from my friend Tanisha, and she do have 3 daughters that she really wants them to start cash stuffing and saving. So she asked me if I was able to film these questions when I'm budgeting or cash stuffing, so I could talk more about how I started cash stuffing, how many binders I start with, why did you start cash stuffing, the whole home buying process. Will you get married first? Would you get engaged first? I'm just looking for an overall story so I can get an idea of your thinking. I like the backstory. Like this 2-piece sectional couch that you bought for your home, where is it being delivered? If you don't mind answering these questions. I don't mind. I mean, obviously some people would like to have certain things private because certain things don't need to be on social media, which I understand. I'm that type of person. I don't like to overshare, but I do like to share things about my life. So there's some repetitive questions, so if I don't answer certain questions, it's because I will be answering those questions later on in this video. So first things first is how I started cash stuffing. I do want to give a background on that because, like, as a college student, whether you're in high school or college, I was more worried about making money if I was working, because all I did was go to school and study, take exams, go to classes. So it's kind of like mentally draining because that's all you're doing. So the last thing on our mind is about our future, about saving money for our house or our kids, because we're still a kid, we're still in high school, we're still in college. So our main focus is to study and have good grades. I think as a child, when you're at like a younger age, like under 18, when you're still in college, I feel like our brain isn't totally well developed yet to think far out of the future. So I think my mindset of saving money started to click in when I started wanting more for my future. Like wanting a house, wanting to prepare to have a child, to be financial free, to pay off my school loans. That was when I understand the responsibility as an adult, when I started thinking about those things. Like in college, you're not thinking about those things. You're thinking about boys, you're thinking about getting good grades, studying, vacations, and the next time that I'm gonna have a break from studying. That's what we're focused on as children. So like I feel like as mothers or as parents, we can't really indulge and force our kids to start saving because they need to have that mentality click in their head, like, oh, like I want this, so I gotta start saving for it. If they don't have no idea what they're saving for, or they don't have the thought of the future of what's gonna come, they're not gonna worry about saving, trust me. So like my brothers, they're 23, 24 now, and they didn't understand that until like recently. So obviously we want them to learn and understand to save now, but they have they have to have some type of purpose to even be interested in saving for the future. So I hope that idea helps for the parents out there that wants their kids to start saving. So you just got to give them time to like understand what they're saving for and their purpose of saving, you know? So that was a question that I was going to answer for Tanisha. And then as for the other questions that she answered, so like if I'm getting married first, engaged. So my thing is that I want to be engaged when we actually move into our home. Not his house, not my house, our home. I feel like that holds more sentimental value to that. And I know a lot of people might not agree with that, but you know, everyone's different. So I want to be engaged in our first home. And what's another questions? She asked me about my two-piece sectional. So I did mention in my previous video that all the appliances and all the new furnitures that I do order, if I see them on sale for our future home, we do have a storage unit. So we do put all our new appliance and all our new furniture in the storage unit. So when the time does come, when we move into our future home, we already have it in our storage unit. So that's where it's being stored. It's not delivered to his house, my house, whatsoever. It's just in a storage unit. So now we're gonna jump into my YouTube questions. So the first question I'm gonna put on the screen. She said, hi, what is your key or number one motivation to continue your budget journey after accomplishing several accolades in the financial realm? So I'm not gonna lie, I did get really emotional when I read this question because I was literally thinking about how I would answer this question. So we're just gonna get right into it. So my grandparents and my parents are both my motivation, not just in my financial realm, but my overall life motivation, because I hear so many stories about how my grandparents came to the States with little to nothing and actually like got out of it and got a name for themselves. They were able to have their business and get their home in the 1980s, which is really hard for immigrants. So they were struggling so much because they were jumping from job to job, supporting not only my mom, but like my mom's 4 other younger siblings. So they have 5 kids, my grandparents. So my mom, who is the oldest, she had to take responsibility for as the oldest child to like help my grandparents work. So not only did she go to school at the age of 12, she also was working for my grandparents. So she went to school from like 7 to 4, and then when she comes back, she works from that certain time until like 12 o'clock in the morning, because that's the time my grandparents closed their restaurant. So technically my mom only had like 5-6 hours of sleep every single day. So that was basically her life. And as for my dad, he was an immigrant at the age of 17 when he came to the States with a working visa. Like when I said he started out with nothing, I mean like $0. He was homeless for a few months until he was able to like land a job at like a sewing company, like a sewing job in New York City. And he was making about 10 cents per t-shirt, which was basically nothing, because I think I recall he was bringing back like $20 or $30 a day back in the 1990s, like right before I was born. So that's like nothing. That's like, I don't know how he did it, but they did come a long way with, you know, my parents working and saving up, and with the help of my grandparents. So without my grandpa, they would have had nothing. We would have had nothing. So they was able to get money from my grandpa to open their own business, and those businesses turn into dine-in restaurants. So you know how that goes. So they came a long way. We moved into one of the richest neighborhoods in the United States when I was in middle school. And they still had to work their ass off and actually worked more hours because the neighborhood that we moved in is extremely expensive. And to afford the house that we lived in, they had to work like 16, 18 hours a day. So that was that. And when they bought the house in 2008, that was the year that we moved into this neighborhood. They bought the house for well over $700,000. $700K for a house in 2008 is extremely expensive. And don't get me started with the tax, because I was talking to my mom the other year about, you know, buying a house and taxes. And she told me that when she first bought this house in 2008, her taxes was at around 15,000 to 16,000 a year. Like, I mean, her taxes right now are even more expensive, but you know, throughout the years, everything just gets inflated and gets really expensive. So I'm pretty sure she probably pays like 20 to 22,000 a year in taxes still. So, you know, they're my motivation. I love them all to death. That's why I'm working tirelessly in countless of hours to make sure that I'm able to retire my parents and able to, you know, put them on vacations, you know, fly them out to Vietnam to visit other families and to like live comfortably. So, I mean, I owe them that much, you know, because of what they've done for me and for my siblings to go to a great school in this school district that we had. So my motivation is to bust my ass off now so that I can break that generation curse so that my own children don't have to live the way that my parents did. I mean, I was young. I mean, I started working when I was 12 as well. I was helping my parents at their restaurants as well. So like I'm in the same position as my own mother. So, I mean, at that time, I thought it was child labor. I mean, don't get me wrong. I mean, I guess all kids would think that when they're working at the age of 12, but I was young. I didn't know anything. But to this day, I do thank my parents for raising such a smart, hardworking, independent woman that I am today. Because, I mean, you would think that they taught me everything that I know about finance, but to be honest, no. I learned this all on my own. So the question that was asked is not what is my motivation, it's who are my motivation. So that answered the first question. So thank you so much for asking that question. So we're going to move on to the next question. All right, so the next question is, what got you into cash stuffing? I'm pretty sure this is the number one common question that anyone wants to ask a cash stuffer because everyone's scenario is a little different. So I'm not gonna lie, I'm gonna be really blunt. It's student loans. I hate it, for the love of God. I don't understand why we have student loans and why we have to pay for college, because school is a scam. When I say it's a scam, I mean there's millions of people out there that don't have a degree that makes more than me. Or makes more than, like, you know, half of the world, because I don't know, but I think school is a scam. I always thought it was a scam, but I mean, it got to where I am today because without my degree, I wouldn't be able to get the job that I have today. So I guess I'm thankful for it. But yeah, I graduated with a bachelor's degree in biomedical engineering with a full ride at Temple University with a full ride. So meaning I didn't have to pay for anything for undergrad. And I also ended up pursuing the same degree in biomedical engineering as my master's degree. And that was what got me into debt, because I had to pay almost $98,000 for a 1-year accelerated program for that. But skip forward, I was able to land a job and work for my number one choice, a pharmaceutical company. We actually provide childhood vaccines and other medications that help about 90% of the population globally, which is my dream job. I always wanted to work there since middle school. So I am proud of what I do, and I actually love what I do. And I also was given an opportunity from my employer to actually go back for a second master's degree, completely paid for by my employer. So I was able to get that in toxicology. So I have 2 degrees in biomedical engineering and a toxicology degree in master's. So because of my first master's degree that put me into $98,000 debt that I didn't have before, I think at the age that I'm at now, I was like more worried about my future. I was asking myself, how can I afford the lifestyle that I want, even though I have a high consumer debt due to student loans? I wanted to be able to afford the lifestyle that I want and also be able to pay and afford the mortgage that I want for my future home. So I was like constantly worrying about, you know, having to put majority of all my paycheck into student loans. And I'm like, then what I'm going to be left with? Like, what if I want to take vacations to live my life and to afford a future home that I want to build for my future family? So I feel as though once I'm free from student loans, I'll be in a great position to become financial free. So like at this moment, I am in $71,328 in debt and student loans. I started with 98, so I basically practically paid off about almost 30,000 in student loans in the past 2 years. So you guys are probably wondering how I'm going to be tackling that and paying that off. So how I will be tackling this is obviously paying more than minimum. So my minimum payment right now is $325, and I do pay $400 a month, which you do see in my cash stuffing and what I unstuff. So, and I also mentioned that I'm taking advantage of the 0% interest since the student loans are on forbearance pause. And for those who don't have student loans, forbearance pause is basically a pause where the government does not incur interest on any of your student loans. So that's why I'm taking advantage of it right now. So all the money that I'm putting towards student loans is going to my principal and not the interest. And then my computer just shut off. But on top of paying more than minimum, I also get a large, enormous bonus paycheck from my employer, like my corporate job, every March. And I also get a 6% raise every April. So not only do I get a bonus check in March, I do get a raise in April. So that's coming up quite soon, and it's January. So I'll have that bonus check soon. So each of my bonus paycheck every year is 16% of my salary. And I'm in the 6-figure salary range. So give or take, I get about between 14 to 16,000 a year in bonus paycheck, which is a large amount. So after that's taxed, which I probably get taxed like 30 to 35%, and after paying for like any miscellaneous credit card debt or personal loan that I have, and if I don't, then the entire amount will go to student loans. But if I do have any miscellaneous credit debt, I'll pay for that first using my bonus paycheck, and then whatever's left, I'll put the entire amount, the rest of it, into my student loans. So if I continue this method, like, sacrificing my bonus paychecks, which like putting the whole amount into my student loans, along with my monthly payments of my student loans, I'll be able to indeed pay off my student loans in about 3-4 years. So that's my ultimate goal using this strategy to tackle my own student loans. So I hope this helps answer that question of why I got into cash stuffing, because that is my number one reason why. So we're going to jump into the next question. The next question is, I love the idea of sinking funds, but I can't wrap my brain around saving lots of small amounts instead of pouring all the money into filling one at a time and moving on to the next. Every time I try it, it just bothers me seeing money all over when it could be combined to reach the goal quicker. Would you please talk about why so many do it this way and the benefits? Thank you. I will honestly say do what's best for you. And this might sound so cliche, but everybody's situation and scenario is very different. So if saving large amounts for one particular category at a time works best for you, I would just stick to it. If it works for you, it works for you. If it doesn't, maybe you can start trying a different method like how we do it. There's a motto out there that says, don't change what's not broken. So if it's working for you, just stick to it. But many people in this cash stuffing community does the similar method like I'm using, which is saving smaller amounts in various categories, because not only are we prepping, we are also preparing for the unexpected expense that we might need. For example, you could put all your money into car maintenance, and then like once you get your car fixed, a day after or 2 days after, God forbid, your washer and dryer broke. You might have a leak in your ceiling, or you need to go buy detergent, or your kids decide to eat up all the groceries in your refrigerator and you have nothing left, And then you realize you place all your money into car maintenance, into that one envelope, and you got it fixed. Now you have no money that you budgeted for. So a lot of people love to allocate certain amount in each payment, in each envelope for different categories, to have some sort of buffer, just in case anything comes up. So I personally think, and I guess a lot of other people in this cash community thinks that this is a smart way to budget. And it seems to be working for a lot of people, including my own boyfriend that never budgeted before. And I taught him how to budget, and it's working for him as well. So a lot of people seem to be in financial crisis because they have a poor method of pouring all their money into one category at a time without thinking about saving for the unexpected. So I think that is why it has the benefits, because yes, you might have like small amounts in every category, but at least you know you have something saved for it just in case something happens. So I hope this makes sense and I hope this helps you. So we're going to move on to the next question. So the next question is, hi Katie, hi Yeji. I think it's Yeji. If I didn't pronounce your name right, just let me know down below, but I'm so sorry. But her question is, I would love to know how you prioritize saving versus debt payments. Some people recommend paying debts first and then saving and investing, and others have different opinions. I would like to learn how you manage the balance between two and how you prioritize. So there's two options that I can visually picture of how one does it, and how it also depends on your income, whether it's variable or fixed. Meaning like whether you bring back different variety of income every 2 weeks or every week, or the same amount every 2 weeks. For instance, I bring back the same amount every 2 weeks from my corporate job, so that makes it a little bit easier on me. But some people might bring back different amounts every 2 weeks or every week because of their job circumstances, like whether they're bartending, being a nail tech, or they have per diem weekend jobs, stuff like that. But before I say anything else, if you have debt, stop using your credit card. Stop pulling out personal loans. If you continue to do that, you're just going to keep burying yourself into a deeper hole, and it will just contradict the purpose of cash stuffing, you know? But anyways, I personally believe that you can save and invest and pay debt at the same time, so you're not putting everything towards bill and, you know, putting everything into one bucket, because then you'll be left with nothing. I personally believe that this method is important and crucial, because not only are you lowering your debt every month, but in case of emergency, you have other funds. So like, God forbid, a house got caught on fire because your neighbor decided to leave their stove on when they're, you know, going to TJ Maxx or something other tragic thing happens and you need to dip into something else. So obviously you don't want to dip into more debt, and you keep swiping your credit cards. So even if you're working with a small amount of paycheck, I mean, there's some people that only bring back like $400 a week without even paying their bills. Like, I would try to dedicate at least a little as possible of $5 or even $10 a week into your savings. And if you have more money the next paycheck, say if you're like a bartender, your income is variable. Like, from 1 week you might have more, some weeks you might not even bring anything back. But I would say set a disciplinary amount that you know you can afford each week. It could be just $5, and that's okay, because it will build up. Trust me, I know that, because that's where I started. I know I can, back then I know I can cash the $5 to $10 into my savings account. That's only what I could afford at that time, because I was a college student and I had to pay for my car insurance and my car note. So that's all I could afford. But say if the next week or the next 2 weeks your paycheck is a little bit more higher, you could add another $5. So instead of $10, you could put $15. But always keep a disciplinary amount that you know you can cash stuff and save. And that could just be $5. You can start with that. That's where I started, and I'm pretty sure you can do it as well. So I would start with a personal savings account, and once you're comfortable at a certain amount, it could be $5,000, $10,000 that you're saved up. Then you can start another envelope for like Roth IRA or investing or whatever it may be that you want to save up for your essential for your future. But for those who fall under my category, the same as I am, like you're basically getting the same amount every 2 weeks or every week that is fixed, whatever amount of money that is going to be the same concept that I just explained just now with the ones that have a little bit more of a lower income. You can still set a discipline goal that you ultimately know you can cash stuff to save every week. You can start at $5 as well. I put mine at $50 every week for my personal savings and my home down payment, because I for sure know that I can cash stuff that every single week. Sometimes I tend to stuff more because I know for sure that I have extra spending money if nothing is needed in household, or I am a month ahead on a majority of all my bills. I used to back then stuff $150 a week because I thought I was able to cash stuff that every week, but I was wrong. But say if I decide to do that, say if I did not set a discipline goal that I know I can cash stuff. Say I was like, no, I just want to get my house soon. I need it now. Like, I want to put $150 a week. Say if I did that, then I will eventually need to dip into other envelopes if I'm not budgeting for other important categories that I need money for. So all my money would be in personal savings and my home down payment, and I'm not giving myself the budget to budget out the home essentials that I need on a daily basis. So that's why I say, yes, you might have a fixed income every 2 weeks, but if you're not setting a realistic goal to save, then you're not going to get there. It's all about discipline and it's all about consistency. Same as for your other parts of your life, like the gym. If you want to lose weight, if you want to have a nice body, you have to go to the gym consistently. Same as for savings. It's the same concept all around your life. So that's why I say, if you want to save and you also want to pay off debt, stop using your credit cards. Start consistently cash stuffing the same amount that you can afford every single week in your savings. It could be $5, $10, $20. Just start somewhere, but it has to be every single week. So I hope that answered your questions. And I do have another question that was asked by my friend subscriber, so that could be like correlated and pertinent to this question. So let's just move on to that. Okay, so the next question is, so there's actually two questions from this. So do you have any advice for safety with leaving so much cash at home? Any safes you recommend? Also, the other question was, how do you work out how much to budget for each cash stuffing? I also struggle with the amounts and end up dipping into them and feel like I'm going nowhere. So I'm actually going to answer the second portion first because that is kind of correlate with the previous question. So I would say a lot of people, including myself, had this struggle before, or there's people that's still struggling with this because they just don't know what to do. So this might help a bunch of people. So thank you for asking this question. So to train and discipline yourself and to understand your finance and what you're budgeting for is very important. So I would start by creating or purchasing on Etsy like some type of wish list or to buy tracker. So that's what I do personally. So I have this in the back of my A5 planner. I just use any type of paper. You don't have to use like those fancy cloth and paper notes paper. I just use the one that came with my Moterm, which is like, blank line paper. Create a wish list, whatever you want to buy. It could be essential stuff. It could be like your tires. You need your tires in like 6 months. You budget it out. So you write tires, you put the amount, and you put the date that you need to buy. Or it could be your eyebrow pencils or your moisturizer cream or the dot stickers, so you can start planning out your weeklies. So you write what you want to buy, the total, and the date that you need to buy. This is important. You need to have the date or some type of estimated week that you need to buy because that will help you budget. So what I mean by that is that when I do budget out, when I do my budget with me, so say if I need, okay, let's go back. I write down all the things that I need to get and what to buy, whether I need to buy tomorrow, next week, next month, or within 6 months. This list will help you budget accordingly with your budget so you know how to budget and how much to budget for. Like for instance, say in 6 months, you know your car inspection is coming up and you need tires really bad because it's bald, you has no thread left whatsoever. And please do not drive when your car tires don't have thread, because it's really dangerous, not for only you but for like people around you, because there could be kids in other cars and God forbid you have no thread, you slip in the snowstorm and then you end up crashing into a family and you end up killing the family. Please get your tires inspected and get new tires. Please do not drive when there's no thread. Thank you and thank you and thank you, because I hear a lot of horror stories about that. But anyways, besides that, the amount of the tires, it could be 4 tires for like $600 or $800. You take that amount and you divide it into how many paychecks that's left between now and the day you need it for the inspection. So that way you can have like generally the estimate amount of what you need to save for and what to budget for, and then you can cash stuff for that. Another example is that, say you need an eyebrow pencil for beauty because you only have enough eyebrow pencil to draw your eyebrows for the next week. Oh my god, last time, I'm getting off topic, but I just want to say this. Last time I did not budget out my eyebrow pencils and I was looking all crazy going to work with no eyebrows. It's so bad. But anyways, say you need your eyebrow pencil by next week, whether you use a e.l.f. brand, a Shein brand, Anastasia brand, that's $28, and the e.l.f. brand is like $8 or whatever, $6. You need to budget out $8 for the next week to get the e.l.f. brand for now, because that's what you can afford. Because obviously if you can't budget out that $28 for an Anastasia brand, you budget out the $8 in the meantime to use that for now, because that's what you can afford now. So now you have an idea of how far ahead you need to budget and stuff for Anastasia. If you want to be bougie, you want to use a $28 eyebrow pencil that works the same as an e.l.f. brand. But say if you want to budget out for that, now you know to put that into your wish list, write that down, the total and the date. Say you need that in 2 weeks. Now you have 2 weeks to budget out for it. $14 this week, $14 next week, then you can buy it. I'm telling you, the wish list tracker comes in clutch, because that's what I use to monitor what I buy and how to budget. And then when I need to budget out for my paychecks, that works for me. I think I started that for the past year, and ever since then, ever since I used the wish list tracker, I didn't have to dip into other envelopes, because I visually see and write down what I need and what I need to buy. So when I budget out my budget with me videos, I see that right in front of me. So I'm basically 6 months ahead of what I need to buy and what I need to budget for. So I hope that answers your questions. So we're going to move on to the first part of the question, which was, do you have any advice for safety with leaving so much cash at home? Any safes you recommend? So I think this is a great question, since a lot of people do have PTSD or fear to leave large amount of cash in their home. Obviously, I understand why, because I dealt with a lot of robberies and home invasions in my life, a few times in my life actually, but it was actually handled at the most prestigious way that I can personally explain. Because one, my boyfriend has tactical experience with defense, and then we are also heavily armed with firearms. I know this might be a touchy topic for a lot of people, and a lot of people are anti-firearm, so I will place a timestamp right here. So please skip this portion if this would trigger you in any type of way, because I don't want that to happen. So the timestamp will be right here, entered on the screen right here, so that you can skip this portion. So for those who started with me back in December of 2022, I have mentioned in a video or two of my experience of my home invasion that I experienced. And I also shared a really sad, touchy topic of how I almost got kidnapped as well. So that's why I generally believe that everyone should be licensed and concealed with a weapon to protect yourself. So it's very scary, but anyways, back to your question. I have dealt with robberies throughout my childhood and adult life, so I am much more experienced with firearms than an average American person, or just an average person. Because I know it's self-defense, I know how to fight. I'm also trained to use rifles, automatics, and majority of all the pistols you can think of that's on the market. So that is my first line of defense, to secure what I have at home and to protect my loved ones that live with me or previously lived with me. And they are all secured. No one can touch it, no one can get to it, not especially children. They cannot get to it. Because I do hear horror stories of how kids would get a hold of a firearm and things happen, really bad things happen. So that is certainly not the case in my household, because all of it is secured and it cannot be reached by children if I did have family over. So it's in spaces that no one would know where it is unless you're told where it is. So the only person in the household that know where it is my boyfriend and I. So my second line of defense of mine is having an anti-pry, anti-theft, fireproof safe. So I use a heavy duty one for years, and it does justice by me. Like, I love it. It didn't steer me wrong. It didn't have any type of malfunction or whatever. So I do have a link of that down below if you are interested in what type of safe box I use for my home. I do use a different one for my businesses because that has a higher security system for that. It has a fingerprint lock proof. So we're actually in the process of switching out the home one into that particular one because it is much more safer. Because I don't know, it's a fingerprint. You need to have someone's fingerprint to open that. So that one is much more expensive. But the one that I listed down below is around $1,500 because it's on sale right now. I think it's $2,000, but now it's $1,500. So that's $1,500. But the one that I use for my business that has the finger lock proof is damn near $10,000. So if you need something that just works and will protect you, I will just go with the $1,500 option that I'm listing down below because I've been using that for like 10 years now, and my parents been using that for like almost 20 plus years. So I guarantee you it helps, it works. So if you need some type of safe box, I will get to that. I don't recommend those small ones that people can just carry out your house because if you get robbed, they can just carry it, throw out the window, take it with them. And majority of the time, they're not anti-pry or fireproof. They can just break that open with a hammer. So you need an anti-pry, anti-theft, fireproof safe. So that will prevent you from getting anything stolen and opened. So yeah, so that is all the questions that I have for this video. So we're gonna jump right into explaining my envelope categories. All right, so the first binder I want to explain is my bills binder. Most of it is self-explanatory, and I also do have a month ahead binder for certain categories that are monthly. So if they're not monthly, like say if they're semi-annual payments, I won't have that in my 1 month ahead. So I'm not gonna pull out my 1 month ahead because that is like pretty simple to explain. But for my PayPal, I have this because I love it so much. It's basically a line of credit. If you spend more than $100, you get 6 months of 0 interest to pay that amount back. So if you don't have this, I would highly recommend this if you're not in debt. This is really good to have. Everyone knows Affirm, Klarna, and Afterpay. Basically, if you don't have the full amount and you know you're gonna have that full amount, you can use any of these programs that allow you to pay every 2 weeks for the total of your purchase. So I like this a lot, like especially if I know I have the full amount, but I just rather do that every 2 weeks. And then American Express Gold, I got this card about 3-4 years back because of my business, because I use this a lot to travel as well and to dine out. So the only con about this card is it has a $300 and $25 annual fee, but the benefits that come with it, it kind of overrides that and pays for the annual fee itself. So I'm not too worried about the annual fee because not only do I get a lot of points that I can eventually get gift cards, I also get like $100 worth of dining credits every single year on the RESI account. And then I also get $10 to $15 every single month to order food on Uber Eats. So it actually like pays itself. So I like that card. And I have this card and I have this card. So previously I had Citi Strata Premier, but when I open a Navy Federal account, I end up getting the Amex account under Navy because they have the same benefits as my Citi card, but this has a 0 annual fee, whereas my Citi has a $95 annual fee. So as of right now, I don't have this card and I'm not using this card, but I'm just using this envelope because I do have another Citi credit card that I purchased my 2-piece sectional couch. I didn't want to make a whole new envelope for it, so I'm just going to use this because it's still under my Citi account because I have 2 Citi credit cards. So they both have the same benefits, whether it's getting reward points on gas, groceries, dining out, supermarkets, and travel. So that's why I switched over to this. Citi is the same benefits, but I just have $95 annual fee. I end up downgrading this particular card to a 0 annual fee card. So, but I'm currently paying off about $2,800 because I did buy a 2-piece sectional couch for my future home. So that's that. Personal loan. I just opened this personal loan beginning of December as well, because we did pull out a loan to pay for the renovation for one of our real estate properties, to basically we're going to end up renting that out, so we have to renovate it first. So that's that. And I'm planning to pay both of these off with my bonus paycheck. So if you didn't listen to the earlier portion of the video, I explained how I'll be paying this off. Student loans, I hate these so much, but you know, that's self-explanatory. AT&T, this is my phone bill. My phone bill is actually under my mom's plan, but I pay her every 6 months instead of every month because she just rather have a large lump sum. So once I get the $55 a month, I just put it along with my other money that I have in my 1 month ahead and just combined it. So once I get to $330, which is 6 month worth, I will give that amount to my mom. Lifetime Fitness is my gym, and a lot of people are probably wondering why I spend so much on my gym membership, which is $200 a month. So let's go back to where I started working full-time on site every single day. So I had to drive into work every single day, which was an hour away. So I decided to open a gym that I pass by to go home. So it's just a no-brainer to get a gym like that. So I ended up getting that gym, which was $60 a month. So every time I'm done work, I would just drive to the gym, work out, and then drive home, because I pass the gym when I go home anyways. But now, since I work remote, this is the only gym that's nearby, that's like 3-4 minutes away from my home, and it's $200. I gave in only because it has a lot more amenities than my previous gym, because this gym is much more of a luxury gym than like a beginner gym, because this has like Pilates classes, yoga classes, Zumba classes, kickboxing classes, regular boxing classes, high intensity interval classes. Also has a hot tub, steam room, sauna room, showers. They provide everything for you. So I think that $200 a month, and it's nearby my home, I'm actually saving gas as well. Not only if I'm saving money, technically, I'm investing into my mental and my physical health. So I think it's worth it. Easy Pass, I pay Easy Pass when I go to work and whenever I cross states, whether it's to New Jersey or Delaware. Car payment, I do drive a 2022 Porsche, and it's an expensive car, I know, but I did do a large amount for the down payment, which I did put $25,000 for down payment. So my car for my 2022 Porsche is $390, but I do pay double for $780, so that way I can pay down my car loan quicker. Car insurance, I currently have it with State Farm. You will probably think my car insurance is expensive because my aunt drives a Porsche as well, but I think she drives a 2020 Porsche, and she pays damn near, the snow truck just came by because we have a snowstorm today and they just shoveled the whole entire road. But anyways, my aunt has a 2020 Porsche, 2 years older than my car, and she pays almost $2,300 every 6 months. $2,300 every 6 months. I only pay $714 with State Farm because I work with someone that deals with car insurance company. I no longer work with her, so I thought my car insurance will go up, but it didn't. It just renewed the same amount. So I'm paying $714 for the highest coverage, which is like what, 50 to 100K. My aunt has the lowest and she pays almost $2,300, which is really sad, but who knows. But anyways, so then I have Spotify, obviously. Apple is for my iCloud storage because I back up my phone a lot. So I got the lowest payment, which is $3 a month. And then Uber One is what I use when I'm lazy and I don't decide to cook. So I just order out and I do have a benefit from my Amex Gold card. I do get $10 to $15 a month to spend on food. Then monthly subscriptions, I have this because previously I had certain subscriptions separated, but I have this mainly for streaming stuff like Hulu, HBO Max, Stars, Netflix, and stuff like that. But since a majority of my family members have those subscriptions, I don't buy it, so that's why this is empty. And then my Amex Gold annual fee is my annual fee for $325, so what I'm saving for every year. I was deciding if I wanted to downgrade that card or cancel it, but I don't want to ruin my credit because it's at 837 right now. It's almost, well, it was at 849. It was almost perfect, but I had to pull out that personal loan, so it dropped my credit score quite a bit. So yeah, I'm sad, but it's gonna go back up in like 2 months. But now we're gonna jump into my high priority. Medical. This is strictly just for like my doctor's visits and stuff like that. This does not it does not go with my dental. So this is just for my medical bills if I go to my doctor's or any hospital visits, urgent care, stuff like that. And I used to pull out my medical prescriptions and my supplements from there, but I did make a new envelope for that because I want that separated. So that's what I use this envelope for. This is just for medical bills, and this is for my prescriptions and any supplements that I use on a daily basis. Then I have my medical deductible and copay, and this is already fully funded for 2025, which is $500. My deductible is $500, and then after that it's 90/10. So my medical insurance pay 90%, and then I pay 10%, which is really, really good. Personal savings is, self-explanatory. This is my personal savings. I decided a lot of people ask me what I'm going to do with this. At first, I wanted to put this amount into my Roth IRA, but I just want this strictly to be my own personal savings. And I end up opening a Roth IRA envelope. So we're going to get to that. Our home down payment is our down payment for our house, so we're trying to save up about 20%. So I'm saving up half, and then my boyfriend is saving the other half. So this is only my contribution. So I think we're trying to save at least 120K or 100K. But I think realistically, if we want to buy a cheaper home, it'll only be 80,000. So I have to save up 40 and he'll save up 40. But I think he already saved up 50,000, so that's good. Closing costs is closing costs. So basically, when you close on a house and you buy the house, you have to put this towards the house. And then a lot of people have questions about this particular envelope because I think it's not common in every single state in the United States. So I have a earnest deposit and inspections fees envelope. So basically, if you go on a house tour and you want to go look at a house and you decide to put in an offer. So say if we went to go look at a house that is $450,000 and then you put an offer in for 400,000K and the seller agrees to that. Now you have to have an earnest deposit of 1 or 2% of the offer that you offered to pay to secure your offer. So say if it's 400,000K, you have to pay an earnest deposit to secure that offer by paying 1 to 2% of that total. And then inspections fees is basically once the seller accepts your offer, your bank will have to do an inspection of a house to make sure that the money that they're loaning you for is worth that house. So that's what that's for. So I'm saving up $2,000 for that because earnest deposit is probably around like $2,000-3,000. So I'm saving $1,500 for that. My boyfriend is saving $1,500 for that, and then we're saving $300 extra for inspection fees, and he's saving $300. So it's about relatively $600 to $800 for inspection fees. Future Mommy, this is a new envelope that I created about a month ago. So I wanted that separated from my future baby because this is strictly for just my future kids, like for their baby showers and stuff like that. But this envelope is for pre-birth pregnancy, and postpartum depression. So whatever that I'm going through, I can pull out from this envelope. That could range from prenatal vitamins, therapy for postpartum depression. That's if I have it. I don't know anybody that has it in my family, so that's really good. Future baby, this is strictly for the baby shower, because I know when I have my baby shower, my friends and family are gonna spoil me, so those gifts are probably gonna last for about a few months for our kid. So once I'm pregnant, or after pregnancy, once I have my child, I will have a different envelope for their baby necessities and baby savings. So I do have a 529 plans registered for my future kids. So I do have a saving plans for them. So that's really good. I don't have that implemented in my system right now because I don't want that out. I kind of want that private to me. So yeah, and then we do have my Roth IRA. So we have that savings funds. So in the beginning portion of this video, I say don't open up an investing account until you are satisfied with what you have in your personal savings, because I think this is more important. Like, the personal savings is more important than having a Roth IRA, in my opinion. I mean, but you can have both at the same time, or you can start with the Roth IRA, but the money in the Roth IRA will stay in the Roth IRA. With your personal savings, say God forbid you need to use it, you can pull it out and use that the same exact day. This you cannot. Emergency fund, I have that, self-explanatory. I have that at 5,000 right now, but I think I might amp that up to 10,000 for emergency fund. 6 month ahead, a lot of people ask me why I don't have 1 month ahead, instead I have 6 month. I feel like 6 month ahead is much more wiser to save up for instead of 1 month ahead, because God forbid you lose your job. I'm pretty sure it might take more than a month to find a new job. And then if you do find, say God forbid you do, I mean, like, fingers crossed, congratulations if you do find a job within a month. They hold your paycheck for the next 3 weeks. So I think 6 month ahead is much more important and much more wiser to have, because now you know you have 6 month ahead. Because sometimes it does take someone 6 months to a year to find a job. So if you have 1 month ahead, I will strongly recommend changing that to 6 month ahead and saving that up for that, because that will give you a sense of relief if you do lose your job. But obviously I don't want anybody losing their job, so fingers crossed. So now we're going to jump into my low priority binder. My camera's about to die, so I'll be right back. Okay, I am back. So dental is my low priority. This is for whenever I have my 6 month checkup, for my x-rays, for my orthodontist. So currently at this moment, I'm saving up for my next 4 set of trays of retainers, because I did have Invisalign a few years back when I was in college. So I do have retainers that I wear every single night, and 4 trays is about approximately $700. So that is what I'm currently saving up for. I do have 2 more trays left, and each tray do last for 2 years, so I don't need to buy new ones until maybe another 5 years, so that's good. Auto care maintenance, I was thinking about making an additional envelope for my brakes and tires, because obviously those are much more expensive and something that I do need to save up for. Auto care maintenance, this is for like my car wash, windshield wiper, any cosmetic damages that I do need to repair, stuff like that. Car emergency fund, this is for my car insurance deductible. So my deductible right now is at, I think, $500, but I think in the next few months, I think I might change that to $1,000 to make my premium a little bit lower. But as of right now, I'm saving up $1,000 instead of $500. New car down payment. So for those who do know me, I normally don't keep the same car for no more than 2 to 3 years. So that's why I have this envelope, just in case I do want to get a new car. And I am planning to get a new car before I get my future home, only because My Porsche right now, I do drive a whole lot. So I'm around 50,000 miles right now, 50,000 mileage. So I do want to get a new car and then keep that car for 10 years. So my next car will be my car that I'm going to keep until, forever. So that's why I have this new car down payment, because I do want a zero mileage car, so that way I can just focus on my future home, my kids, if I do conceive, so that way I don't have to worry about a new car, because when cars get a little older, they start to have problems and issues. Okay, so this envelope, I used to have it just for wedding, but I have it for engagement, wedding, and honeymoon. So my boyfriend is Cambodian and I am Chinese and Vietnamese, so I guess our culture is similarly aligned, but somewhat a little different. So we both are Buddhism and we do tea ceremonies for our weddings. So, but it's a little different. So that means our wedding is going to be at least 2 to 3 days long. So that's going to be really expensive. So we thought about just having the tea ceremony, which is done in our household, like in our homes. But we're probably not going to do a wedding in the States. We're going to do a destinational wedding at Switzerland. So we're going to have our destination wedding at Switzerland and our honeymoon there. So that is what we're saving up for. Car registration, that's self-explanatory. But in Pennsylvania, we do pay $50 a year, but we do have an option to pay $100 for 2 years. But since I don't normally keep my car for that long, maybe like the second year, I only pay for 1 year, because I might switch a new car within a couple months from now. So that's why there's only $50 in here. And then I have the sticky note for my driver license renewal. And since driver license renewal is every 4 to 5 years, I don't want to have an envelope for that just yet, because it's not really like a necessity for that, just to like have an envelope that's only gonna get stuff like once every 4 years. So I have $50 there, so I do need to cash stuff and budget out another $50 for that. And I do have inspection and emission renewal tags, so we have to do an inspection for our cars in Pennsylvania every single year, and that is generally around $60 to $80. So that's for. So that is it for my low priority binder, and then we're gonna jump into my business binder. And shipping, this is the funds that I use to ship out any Happy Meals that I want to ship out for free. I don't stuff shipping for my custom orders, because that is paid for by my customers. So thank you guys so much for being able to pay for that, because shipping costs are really expensive, and I do end up paying some to cover some packages, because it not only, I think I charge around $6 to $7, but sometimes it's like $6.25 or $6.85, and I do cover the rest. Inventory restock, this is what I pull from when I need to buy more printing paper, vellum paper, laminating pouches, ink, stuff like that. I do need to buy, I think I need to make a supply envelope that's separate from packing supplies, because supplies, I think I want to have that saved up to, just in case I do need a new 6-hole puncher, corner cutters, and stuff like that. And then packing supplies are for like my cellophanes, bubble mailers, stickers, stuff that I need to use to pack. Budget and planning, this is what I use and pull from when I want to buy and support other small businesses, like custom on Etsy's or their own website. So this is what I pull from if I want to buy from other small shops, and I use this to pull from when I buy stuff for my A5 planners, like my stickers and inserts. P.O. Box, I'm currently not funding this, only because I have an address that I use to ship all my Happy Meals that people send me, and if I really trust you, I'll give you my home address. But for now, I'm not utilizing this envelope, because I don't think I'll be getting a P.O. box anytime soon or ever. I don't know. I might have to, because if we're buying a new home, I'll rather have a P.O. box because I don't want anybody to know like my physical home address. And then tech and equipment is for like any new laptop, or I need to fix my camera that I use to film, new printer, stuff like that. YouTube giveaway, self-explanatory. I use this to do YouTube giveaways. Sometimes the money in here currently as of right now, I'm using that to do red envelope giveaways for Lunar New Year's. Whenever whoever placed an order on February 12th, you will get a red envelope with a random amount of money in there. It could be a 20, it could be a 10, it could be a 5, it could be a 2, it could be $1. It's just randomized. Taxes, this is just for my YouTube taxes. So that is it for my business binder. Okay, the next binder will be my friends and family binder. The first envelope is Woof. This is for my 2 fur babies. I have a German Shepherd and a Shih Tzu, and this is for their vet visits or emergency funds. This is for my boyfriend's spending. Fur babies, this is generally was supposed to be for their treats and toys, but my boyfriend and I agreed that he will be buying their food and their treats and toys, and then I'll be responsible for all their medications and also for their tea and flick medications. So that is what this is for. My parents, this is for their spending or whatever that I do want to get from them if it's not for birthdays or gifts. So say if my dad wants another bottle of Scotch whiskey, I will pull from this envelope. I do want to also incorporate another envelope for them for their like savings. So when they retire, I will have, you know, some funds for them like weekly or monthly, and I can give them some cash for them to spend for fun. So that's what this is envelopes for. So I'll probably incorporate a parent savings like for their future. Grandparents, this is for spending as well, but currently I've been using this to save up for Lunar New Year's red envelope. So I have 1 grandfather and 2 grandmothers. So they're both, I mean, not they're both. 3 of them are going to get $200 each for Lunar New Year's. I don't have a savings envelopes for them. I'm not sure if I'll be doing that because I'm giving them money anyways. Siblings, this is basically the same thing as for my parents. This is their spending envelope just in case if I do see something, if I'm out and it reminds me of them, so I'll end up grabbing them a couple things. Birthdays and gifts, this is for my friends and family besides my siblings and my parents and grandparents. This is for like my friends, my in-laws and stuff like that. Anniversary, this is for my boyfriend and I anniversary. We dated in 2020, so about 4 or 5 years now. So our 5th year anniversary is this November 6th of 2025. We've known each other since elementary school, since we were 6 years old. So I've known him for almost 22 years of my life. So basically my entire life. So there's that. And then we're gonna jump into my personal binder next, because my other binders are kind of self-explanatory, like my holidays and vacation binder. So the first envelope is my Katie envelope. This is different from my personal spending envelope because this is something that I just incorporated like last week because I want to basically spoil myself. So this is for something like luxury that I want to get. So currently right now I'm saving up for a large LV Agenda binder planner, and that is $920. But I might be getting that for my birthday, so I'm gonna still save up for it just in case, but if not, I'll get it myself. Personal spending is what I pull from every day that I don't pull off from these binders. So say if I went to TJ Maxx and I'm buying something for myself and not for household, I won't pull from household, I'll pull from here, like stuff like that. Dining out groceries, self-explanatory. I have this envelope in my wallet as well, so I cashed up this envelope, and whatever I need I'll pull from this to put into my wallet. Coffee, I don't buy any coffee from Starbucks and Dunkin' anymore. I have a Keurig and espresso machine, so I buy K-Pods from TJ Maxx or Amazon. So that is so much cheaper and much more affordable. So I just don't think that it's realistic. Not even like I have the money to buy $7 coffee from Starbucks or Dunkin', but $7 is enough to buy 12 K-Pods that will last for 2 weeks. So, and here you go, my neighbor's dog just barking again. Lifetime Fitness. This is separate from the envelope in my bills binder because that is just for my gym membership. This is an envelope that I budget out for just in case I need any gym equipment like lifting gloves, lifting shoes, a yoga mat, barbell lifting protection, stuff like that, or even like protein shake if I want to buy something from the gym. Household, self-explanatory. This is what I use to buy like soap, detergent, soaps for the kitchen, the bathroom, rugs for the bathroom, new toothbrush, Q-tips, new bathroom towels, stuff like that. Anything for the household. Nails. This is completely empty because I just stocked up on a whole bunch of nail items. I used to do press-ons, but they don't normally hold the best quality and they end up looking like ugly after a few days and they don't keep their shape. So I end up doing my own acrylic and gel now, and sometimes I do poly gel because they hold up a lot more better, and this is acrylic set. So all I have to do is when they grow out, I'll just do a refill. But I think I'll be taking this off because I think I'm gonna end up doing long square nails the next set, but who knows. Lashes. This is to fund my extensions that I do for the past 3-4 years. Expensive, so expensive, I know, but it just makes getting up and getting ready so much faster because all I have to do is wash my face and brush my teeth. So that's that. Beauty and self-care. I don't normally wear makeup. I wear makeup like occasionally, like say if I have a date night with my boyfriend or New Year's Eve or Thanksgiving or Christmas. That is when I wear my makeup. I don't wear makeup on a daily basis. I'll probably wear like makeup once a month. So I don't buy any makeup products. The only makeup product that I use is eyebrow pencil. So that's what I use. And eyelash and eyebrow serum. And then for self-care, I use that for like massages, like or cryotherapy. So that is what this envelope is for. Date night, if it's not buying groceries and stuff like that, if we decide to go out for a date night, we go out to like a restaurant, we'll pull from here. So, or anything that we do for fun, we pull from here just for the two of us. This envelope is a fun envelope. This is when if we incorporate anything fun, if we do anything with our friends and family. So say if we go snowboarding, go to the movies, snowboarding, I said that already, bowling, stuff like that. So we pull from this envelope. Wardrobes for my shoes and my clothes. Hair care, this is for haircuts, hair dye equipment, or my shampoo that I buy from Viore, which is the best. Skincare, self-explanatory. I buy my cleansers, I buy my moisturizers, my creams, face masks, stuff like that. And I love my serum, so those are the best. Hobby, so I have 2 hobbies as of right now. Well, actually 3, because cash stuffing is one of my hobbies. Then I also like fishing, and I also like hunting. So I do like bow hunting, arrow stuff. So like I hunt for like birds. So that is 3 of my hobbies. So this is what I'm funding for. Currently, I'm funding for a new fishing rod that I seen at Cabela's. It's a St. Croix fishing rod, a sea fishing rod, and that is $235. So I'm saving up for that. Technology, this is for a new laptop, but I don't need a new laptop right now because I just got a new one from my boyfriend for a early Christmas gift. So I got the new 2024 MacBook Pro, and I'm also would be saving up for a new phone just in case mine breaks. So that is what that's for. Spontaneous spend, just like if we want to go to a nearby concert that's happening next week, or a football game, a basketball game, baseball game, a party that we need to pay for, like stuff like that. So that's spontaneous events. Kindness, this is something that I incorporated, but I haven't really like did it consistently. So I got this envelope because I want to start donating to a charity like St. Jude's, like the cancer charity. So that is what I'm hoping to use this envelope for. And miscellaneous is basically my buffer envelope, but I haven't been using it just yet. So hopefully I'll use it soon because I do need some buffer just in case I do dip over the amount that I have in my envelope and I need some type of buffer. Next thing is my holiday binder. And it's self-explanatory. I won't go into depth for every single envelope. So I have Lunar New Year's, Cambodian New Year's, Valentine's Day, Mother's Day, Father's Day, 4th of July, Halloween, Thanksgiving, and Christmas. So that is it for my holiday binder. I feel like there's not much to explain for that. And then my vacation binder. So a couple months ago, I did have 2 envelopes in here that everyone has questioned for. So I had a admin cost for my timeshare and then my maintenance fees for my timeshare. I no longer has my timeshare. I gave it back. I didn't sold it back, but I gave it back to the resort. So I no longer have my timeshare. So I don't need to pay for that anymore. So that's good. But now I have different envelopes in here. So this is pre-vacay shopping. So I buy certain wardrobe and clothing and shoes and anything essential like toiletries, depending on what type of vacation I'm going on. It could be a mountain vacation or it could be an island vacation. So obviously different wardrobe is different for every vacation. The islands, this is what we always pull from for the most and budget for because we take about 3-4 island trips a year, all inclusive of course, and then sometimes we do about 4 to 6 vacations within the United States. So we take a lot of vacations because we value and strive for our mental health, and we want to separate from work life and our personal life as much as possible because that's the key to youth. You need to stay happy and enjoy your life while you're working because the life is not always about working because life is too short. I'm almost 29. I turned 29 on February 2nd, and I was told by my parents to always enjoy life no matter how hard you're working because you do not want to burn yourself out. This next envelope is extra. This coincides with this envelope because all-inclusive, that is for flights, hotels, food, and drinks. That's all included with that. But just in case we do want to go off the resort to dine out, if we want to do excursions, we always bring gratuity. Even though it's all-inclusive, we always tip the resort and the workers and souvenirs. Day trips. If we don't plan on staying for a night or 2, we always do day trips for either going to a park, fishing. We always do fishing day trips in the summer. If we don't stay at my aunt's beach house, day beach trips with, friends and family and hiking trails. So we love hiking. So we just got new boots for each other for Christmas, so I'm so excited for that. And then mini trips. This is something we don't incorporate with our vacation because these are mini trips for like 2 to 3 nights. This is for the beach, camping, mountains, and road trips. So currently we are planning a birthday trip and we're doing a mini trip. I think we're gonna do both mountain and camping. So we're probably gonna do a cabin in the Poconos Mountain. So we're gonna go snowboarding as well. Family trips. This is, I made this envelope because we do have family in California that we do visit. So I want to have an envelope strictly for that. Then we have Disney World. We love Disney World. We go here every year for our anniversary. We did skip 2024 because we had a lot going on. But we're returning for our anniversary this year in 2025 in November. So this includes lodging, transportation like Uber or Lyft, food, tickets for the parks, and shopping. I forgot flights too, but I have a for airfare envelope back here. So I do have a new envelope for passport renewal. So my passport is actually expired in June of 2026. So I'm going to slowly save up for that. And it's relatively around 145, 150 for renewal every 10 years. And then I have an airfare for here for Disney World, Asia, Europe. And this is strictly for airfare, not the airfare tickets, but for like the seats and luggage. And then I have Asia for airfare, lodging, and food. And then Europe for airfare, lodging, and food. So these are the 2 out of the country vacation that we usually take. So I go to Vietnam and Cambodia, and then Europe we go to like Mykonos, Italy, Paris, and stuff like that. I generally don't like Paris or France. I prefer Greece and Italy. So yeah. Then we're gonna jump into my special bills binder. Self-explanatory too, I'm not gonna go into detail. So these are all my star notes from 1 to 5, 10, 20, 50, and 100. And I also have foreign bills in here from other countries and my $2 bills. So there's that. And then I have 2 savings challenge binder, self-explanatory as well. I have a savings challenge just for other small shops owners. So I have one from Hold My Money. This is from Beezy Things. The Roll the Dice is from Aya Plans. Then I also have this winter scratch off challenge from Hold My Money as well. And then I also have this mini savings challenge from Aya Plans. Then I also have savings challenge from Simper Dollar Co., Upscale Currency, yeah, and Simper Dollar Co. So that's what I have in this binder for savings challenges that I usually pull from. And then this binder is just strictly my savings challenge that I create and sell on Instagram. So I have, let's do a flip through. So I have my Milk and Mocha challenge that I created. Then I have my seasonal, so I have fall, spring, summer, and winter. So currently it's winter time, so I have that in here. Then I have my Hogwarts scratch off challenge of every house. So in the back I have all 4 houses, but I put Gryffindor as the first one because I'm a Gryffindor. Duh. And then I have Hogwarts theme as Little Wizard edition, so all the little wizards. Then I also have like a vacation savings challenge. I put Aloha and Summertime Fine, and these are super cute. These are available as well on February 12th. And then I have Christmas. It comes with an envelope and it comes with 5 volumes. So this is Christmas number 1 and it's up to 5. You get 5 trackers and I put them in here. So I'm just gonna put 1 in here. Then I have Inside Out, It's Okay to Feel All the Feels. I have my Sanrio, Hello Happy Birthday. My Sanrio Lunar New Year's. My Sanrio Japanese Edition. My Hello Kitty Valentine's Day. My Pachaco. My Halloween Hello Kitty. Christmas Hello Kitty. This is my very first Sanrio one that I have. And Pokemon. So that is it for all my envelopes and all my binders, and I hope this gives you guys a lot more clarity as to the questions that I answered at the beginning of this video and all the binder categories that I just explained. So if you guys enjoyed this video, please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye guys.